So I feel like this week I've been convicted from an action that I used to do not that long ago. And I feel like I've been shown what I have been doing wrong. I treated Instagram models like gods. Like I valued them so high up that I wasn't worthy to even be with them or to even have a conversation with them. Like that's how much value I put on them. And for a long time, I think for the last I think it's been like 4 years, I have never I had Instagram for a little bit and then I just deleted it. I just didn't like how fake it was. My high school and middle school and primary school friends that I still followed on Instagram and I didn't want to stop following them because they're you know, we grew up together. But it's always cool to just check up sometimes. But overall, I don't like Instagram and I don't like TikTok. So I deleted that app like a long time ago, mainly Instagram because of how fake everything was. It was every time I went on the app, I really didn't go on the app much because it was just super fake. Um, so I just decided instead, you know what? Let me just delete it. So I haven't gone on Instagram in years. Literally, it's been so long. And so I just got Instagram to talk to one of my friends because my friend has an Android. Now, I'm not saying anyone with an Android I can't communicate with. I'm just saying that I want to be able to FaceTime. And you can't FaceTime when someone has an Android. So for me to FaceTime you, I I have to have Instagram and follow you, and then that's the way that we would FaceTime. So I got Instagram again, and so of course when I went on the app, the first thing I'm seeing are my my old middle school, high school, primary school uh like friends. Um, and to be honest, if I know you from middle school or primary school, I'm so sorry, but I view you like I treat you more like a sister or a brother if I know you for such a long time. I feel like that's fair. I feel like we all kind of do that. Even when I was in middle school, like any of my primary school friends, I'm like, oh yeah, that's just my sister. Even though we might not look alike or anything like that, it's just that's just kind of how it goes, you know? And so I don't want to say the person's name or anything, but this girl, she has one of the most she has an insane following. And I'm looking at I didn't just like it popped up when I on my Instagram. I'm looking at it and I'm like, hold on. I'm looking at this girl and she barely has any clothes on and her face looks different. She has like lip fillers and I'm looking at her and it's so sad because I know that that was me. I know that literally a couple months ago or like 4 months ago that if a woman dressed in like on social media she dressed a certain way to get the males uh, males to look at, um, it worked, you know? It works. That's why the women do it because it works and it makes them a lot of money. Um, when I'm looking at them and they're showing like their bodies and getting all these lips surgery, cheeks, just everything to to just get the male uh glaze, or I don't know if that's the right word. And it makes me so sad because that was me. This is somebody that I'm looking at on my phone. The girl that I know, this woman has thousands of followers. The way I look at her now in my heart is that she has zero. She has zero in her. That's the way I look at her. I, I want to try to explain this in a way that y'all can understand it. These women that have all these thousands of millions of followers, there's a kid, there's a man, there's a little girl, or maybe somebody that's older, that went to school with them when they were in primary school. I can't look at that girl like, oh my gosh, I want her. Oh my gosh, like she's so good looking. I can't do that because I knew her. I knew her family. I knew her parents. I knew her brothers, her stepfather, her mother. I knew her. I spent time with her. I hung out with her at recess every day. Primary school to middle school, we were hanging out. Were we the closest of friends? No, that's not what I'm saying. But we were friends though. It's so crazy to me that like this is the lifestyle that she's in. And her goal is to get the male to look at her. And the thing is, it's working. And what's so hard and for me to understand now, for a lot of men that can't understand this, is that holy cow, this woman has parents, has brothers, sisters, people that went to school with her that truly care about her. And for such a long time, I looked at women and being like, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty." And my goal is to like just be with her. But I'm not actually thinking about what what is in her heart. Like who is she really? And it's really hard to understand that until that person has been with you for like such a long time. It's so hard for male or female to understand that, like, holy cow, it doesn't matter what photo they put on their Instagram, TikTok, whatever app. Who are they in their hearts? To me, this girl, she can put on all the plastics that she wants, but I know her when she was little. Her and I grew up together. There's nothing that she can put on that I can't see through, right? Imagine that I was growing up with you, right? You and I grew up together, and then you decided, "Hey, you're not going to change really much about yourself." But me, I'm gonna start to put on literally a full-on like mask, like a full-on covered mask. And I look like a different human being. And you and I literally grew up together. So let's say I'm posting photos and things like that on social media. It doesn't matter for you because you're always gonna look at me through the mask. You're always going to. It doesn't matter how much more stuff that I put on myself because you're always going to see the heart. You're always going to see who you really are. Because who you really are as a kid, it doesn't change so severely to the point that you're like, "Holy cow, that's a different human being." Like I understand already this I can't say the person's name, but this woman this woman that I know, I can already understand why she even went through this, why she's even in this situation now. I have a very good estimation or guess because I haven't talked to this person in over 7.5 years. It's been a really long time. But guess what? 7.5 years is I will admit it's a really long time. But the issue is the way that you are as a kid. I went to school with her all the way to primary school to uh literally middle school. We finished middle school. After that, we never saw each other. It's been a really long time, but the thing is, that little person that I knew, the person that I literally had all the joy with, that person is not going to go away. Those memories can't just fade away. And so that's why in my heart, when I look at her, I can't look at her as, "Oh, wow, bro, look at her. She's so good looking." If any of my friends, if any of my people that I knew, any of my boys were like, "Oh, bro, wow," I would get mad because I'm like, "Don't you dare talk about her. That's my sister. Do not talk about her like that." And the reason why I say don't talk about her like that because she's my sister is because she is. She is. We grew up together. Are we related? We don't have to be. We're we're literally brothers and sisters. And to be honest, I think I saw them like like a really long time ago, like about 5 years ago. And we again, after I swear, like there's this range if you know each other for like a certain while. At that point, you're just brothers and sisters, you know. And so it breaks my heart that like the person that I knew, like why would you put this stuff on you? Like I see you as the person, I see you as that, as my sister. So I can't imagine you putting all this stuff on just to make men happy. So it also impacts me because I used to be that kind of guy looking at those women and being like, "Holy cow, I want her. I'm no better than than the girl that I went to school with, than the girl that now puts on plastic just to make a men to be happy now." N- Compared to me a couple literally just a couple of months ago doing literally the exact same thing to women. I was doing that to women like her. I was doing that to women like her. But the difference was I didn't actually know these women. These women are just women is just swiping up on my phone. I don't actually view them as a human being. These are just literally just human beings that are just, I'm like, all right, she's good looking. She's not. I'm just swiping. Swipe, 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 swipe. I don't view any of these women like actual human beings because I never actually got to spend time with them, actually get to know them. This woman, she has such a large presence, and guess what? It's not like we know each other. We literally grew up with each other for years. I can't say, "Oh, I barely ever knew her. I barely ever spent time with her." I can't do that. I can't lie to myself. So I can't imagine other men talking like they want her. I'm like, "You don't deserve her. You don't know the kind of person she is because you're just looking at her from from what she looks like, from all this, but you don't actually know the kind of person she is." And that's where I come in because I'm like, that's my sister. I can't ever view her as like, "Oh, that's the kind of girl I want." And I'm like, no, no, no. That I would rather vomit on the ground I'd rather vomit on the ground and I can get beat up and compared to be with her, even though we're not related in any way. It's because we grew up we grew up with each other, and I can't fathom the idea of like even having thoughts about her or thoughts about any other people that are very like, other people that do the same thing of being models and selling their bodies. I can't fathom that idea. So it hurts me that there's so many other men doing the same other thing that I used to be doing, not understanding that these people have mothers, these people have actual friends and family that actually know them as human beings, and they don't actually look at them like that. They look at them behind this plastic, behind all this look that they put on themselves. Their families and friends don't look at them like that. They look at them literally behind the mask that they're putting on. These women, you have to understand, women and men. Men are putting on these masks, women are putting on these masks to cover themselves. And the closest people are the ones that get to actually see through it. And so for me, I haven't spent any time with this woman in years, but guess what? Her and I grew up with each other, so I can always see through that mask of who she is. Now, I know her to a certain extent. I don't know her to an actual level of like what kind of things she likes. It's just I will always remember her as my sister. I can't stop thinking about that. And I wish so many more men thought about it like that. It doesn't matter what kind of woman swipes up on your phone. You have to understand that that woman, it's kind of hard now because it's 2026 and there's AI. These women would, majority of these women, 99% of women, you have to understand, men, you have to understand that these women have family. These women actually have people that care about them. Stop looking at them behind this mask. They're showing you a mask, and you're never going to get through it. You're never going to get through that mask. So stop watching it. These people, I'm so blessed and honored that I actually know someone that has such a large presence because now I'm able to understand, oh my gosh, this is really, really bad. I know that the way that these other men are viewing her, and that used to be me to other women. I'm that guy that looks at these kind of women and being like, oh my gosh, these women are so good looking. That's me. And guess what? Millions of other people, millions of other men and women are doing the same exact thing. And these women, their only job is to literally show their appearance for a living. These women are depressed. All these other people are also depressed because their standard is so high. And these women, they just keep showing they just show their body, and that's what they feel like their worth is this, just their appearance. That's it. After this goes away, they feel like they're nothing. And guess what? This girl that I grew up with, it doesn't matter how old she is. I will always look at her as my sister. I don't care if she's 80, 90, it doesn't matter because I will always view her as a sister to me because we grew up together. And all these other people, when she grows up and she gets so old, everyone's gone. They're going to the next woman, doing the same thing, having the same phase of being like, I want this woman. I only want this woman. And then when this woman gets old, they get they get a different woman and say, I want this woman. And then these women go through the same phase of, oh, I need to make these men happy. That's my life. And then that's what that's what their worth is. And so everybody here, even this the woman that's showing her body and these other women and men that are around her literally covering her, their standards is so high because they only want to be with this woman, and this woman, she wants to be with other women that also look that also look better than her. So she's trying to do everything possible to look better, which means putting on plastic, putting on more things, putting on more plastic over her face that she was born with, that God gifted her. And what she's thinking is, let me cover this up because this doesn't look good, right? Let me cover it up because none of this looks good. I need to cover it up. And I'm not bashing my sister. I'm not bashing her because I'm no better than her. If I was better than her, I would understand that this is not good. But no, I'm literally with this group. I'm the reason why she has to do what she does. I'm the reason why that these women are going through this. I'm just now the person that's able to actually go out and be able to see like from literally another point of view, like a full third point of view, being able to see the woman, me knowing who the woman is, me knowing and having a literal like sister that I grew up with, being able to understand that how sad that these women are going through, and understanding that this woman, she has plastic on her face, knowing that like holy cow, this woman is so beautiful. Why is she putting on stuff? This woman, that's my sister. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You are so beautiful. And guess what? It doesn't matter how much plastic you put on. It doesn't change the way I will view her. She's beautiful. I will always view her as my sister. That's it. And that's what I love. And so I wish that there was way more men that could understand that. Hold on. These women are they are so much more valuable than this, than just their looks. You need to actually get to know them in their hearts, and you men need to stop covering this woman and making her like a full-on idol, because that's what we're doing. Men, we're literally just idolizing these women. And guess what? I'm not just saying, oh, stop idolizing. I'm there with you. I used to be that kind of guy that it wasn't just women I idolized, singers, my favorite singers, a lot of rappers. I truly idolize. And when we can stop idolizing these women, when we can stop idolizing these rappers and start idolizing the word, this world can actually go around. This world can go around, and guess what you're going to do? You're actually going to be happier as a human being. And I'm not just saying that because I'm just saying it. My life was going to be over right before everything was going to happen. I cried out to a God. I cried out to any God in the world. If there's any God in the world that could help me with the mental pain that I'm going through, who is it? And it was God. The only God. He helped me through every kind of struggle that I was going through. And any time that I start to like kind of gaze away from God, I always get pulled back. And sometimes it might not be the Bible, sometimes it just might be like going on an app that I've never gone on in years. But like, man, I just really want you to understand that these women are so much more beautiful than their looks. These women actually have a beautiful, beautiful heart. And if men can understand that, and understand that, like, stop viewing these women like gods, because they're not. There is only one God. Stop it. Like, I don't even know what I would say to myself to stop idolizing these rappers, these women. Like, I don't even know what I would say. The only way, and to be honest, there was a couple of other times, because a lot of people in middle school and high school, a lot of these women were already doing it years ago. But every time that their For You page popped up, I scrolled right away, because literally I felt it. I felt gross looking at them, because I actually know who they really are. So I felt gross, so I wanted to go to somebody else that I didn't know and start lusting on them, start looking at them and being like, I want her. But anyone that I actually knew, my mouth was shut because I felt gross because I actually knew who they were. And I'm not saying that person was disgusting or gross. No, I just couldn't fathom the idea of actually being with this person, even though 99% of people would be like, holy cow, she's really good looking. I could never view any of these women like that because I actually knew them and I actually got to grow up with them. So now I just look at all of these women like brothers and sisters. And so that's what's so crazy about this world is that when you're actually spending time with this kind of person, it doesn't matter how good looking they are. When you're actually spending time with this person, you're going to start to realize, oh, really, it's not just about their looks. You have to fall in love with their hearts. That's the way of life. My goal with another person in the future, my goal isn't to fall in love with their looks. My goal is to fall in love with their hearts. Where is their heart? And that's my goal. I don't know if y'all learned something, but I want you all to know that God loves you. And please, 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 men, stop lusting. Stop looking at these women as objects and start looking at these women as, 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 start looking at these women like they have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, older sisters, little brothers. Start looking at them like that because I promise you, every single one of these women are so beautiful. It doesn't matter what they do, they're so beautiful. Something broken, something happened on their journey that like made them go that route. But you have to understand that like before you start judging these women, you have to understand and you have to start looking at yourself and start understanding that holy cow, I'm messed up. I'm looking at all these other women that I don't know and starting to lust over them. But you have to understand that these women are so much more valuable than just their appearance. Their hearts are so much more beautiful. And I wish that more men understood it. I wish more men understood it because guess what? These women are not just things that you just spend. These women are so much more beautiful than that. And I wish women could understand that your worth isn't based off of men. Your worth is not that. You have to understand that there's a higher power that loves you more than anything in this world. There will never be another man on this planet that will love you more than the Father himself. Men, you have to understand that there will never be another woman or man will ever love you more than the Father himself. There will never be anybody that loves you more than him. And I wish women and men could understand that. And I hope that if anyone got impacted, please let me know because it literally impacted me when I saw my sister covering her face and all these men are just looking at her. And then I'm on the side looking through all that plastic, looking at that heart of how beautiful that heart is. And that's what no other man is able to experience. Not a lot of men are able to look at that, look at all that plastic, look right through it and be like, wow, she's a really beautiful human being. And it's so sad that all these other men are looking at her just as an object. There's no human in that. These men, they don't look at her as anything. And I'm on the other side. The only thing I can do, I don't have a choice. I can't run away. I'm stuck. The only thing I could ever do is look at her as a human being, look at her as my sister, and how beautiful that heart is, and how amazing her and I, and her family, and her stepfather, and her brother, and her older sister, the amazing experiences, the amazing times that we got to spend together. Those are the only times I can ever remember in my heart. But on the other side, there's these other men that I never got to spend any time with her ever, ever. And they can only look at her as an object. They can only look at her as This ain't good enough for me. So the girl has to put on more. She has to put on more plastic, more, just to make these men happy. Because very few men are able to actually, very few men are able to get to see that heart and see who she actually really is. And I'm so blessed that was that I am able to, no matter what happens to people that I got to go to school with, no matter what happens on their journey, I'm always able to look it through. I'm always able to see who they really were and who they really are. Still. All right. If you learned anything, please let me know and have an amazing day.